The general classification rule for individuals. How do we classify the individual income taxpayers? First, kailangan nating alamin kung ano yung intention ng taxpayer regarding his nature of stay within and outside the Philippines. The taxpayer shall submit documents such as visas and work contracts indicating his intention to the Commissioner of Internal Revenue of the Bureau of Internal Revenue. Paano pag wala siyang masubmit na mga documents that will prove his intention regarding his stay here in the Philippines? Pupunta tayo sa second, which is the length of stay. Unahin natin yung intention. An alien is normally non-resident. Paano pag yung alien pumunta dito sa Philippines with a tourist visa? What is his appropriate classification? Ang kanyang appropriate classification ay non-resident alien. An alien who come to the Philippines with a tourist visa would still be classified as a non-resident alien. Next, a citizen is normally resident. Paano pag yung citizen pumunta siya abroad with a tourist visa? Ano ang kanyang magiging classification? Ang kanyang classification ay resident citizen pa rin. A citizen who would go abroad under a tourist visa would still be considered a resident citizen. Next, an alien who come to the Philippines with an immigration visa would be reclassified as a resident alien upon his arrival. Because the immigration visa would result in the automatic reclassification of the taxpayer's residency. So meaning to say, pag nandun pa siya sa ibang bansa, non-resident alien pa siya. Pero once pumunta na siya dito sa Philippines and meron siyang immigration visa, then he will be reclassified as resident alien. Next, a citizen who would go abroad with a 2-year working visa would be reclassified as a non-resident citizen upon his departure. Because the working visa would result in the automatic reclassification of the taxpayer's residency. Meaning to say, pag nandito pa yung citizen sa Philippines, ibig sabihin ay resident citizen pa siya. But once he departs from the Philippines with a working visa, that means he will be reclassified as a non-resident citizen. Let's proceed to the length of the stay. So in the absence of intention, that means walang na-submit na documents si taxpayer sa Commissioner of Internal Revenue of the Bureau of Internal Revenue, ang susundin natin is yung length of stay. Citizens staying abroad for a period of at least 183 days are considered non-resident citizen. So kung yung Filipino, nandun siya sa ibang bansa for at least 183 days or more than 183 days, then ang ating classification na nung citizen ay non-resident citizen. Next, aliens who stayed in the Philippines for more than 1 year as of the end of the taxable year are considered resident. Kanina na-discuss na natin to na para maklasify yung alien as resident alien, dapat nandito siya sa Philippines for more than 1 year as of the end of the taxable year. Aliens who are staying in the Philippines for not more than 1 year but more than 180 days are deemed non-resident aliens engaged in business. Take note, na para maklasify yung alien as non-resident alien engaged in business, dapat nandito sa Philippines yung alien for more than 180 days but not more than 1 year. Kasi pag more than 1 year, resident alien na siya. And last, aliens who stayed in the Philippines for not more than 180 days are considered non-resident aliens not engaged in trade or business. So that means para maklasify natin yung alien as non-resident alien not engaged in trade or business, dapat nandito siya sa Philippines ng 180 days or less than 180 days. Example number 1. An American actor was contracted by a Philippine television company to do a project in the Philippines. He arrived in the country on February 29, 2019 and returned to US 3 weeks later upon completion of the project. I-classify natin yung American actor kung siya ba ay resident citizen, non-resident citizen, resident alien, non-resident alien engaged in trade or business, or non-resident alien not engaged in trade or business. Hindi siya pwedeng i-classify na resident citizen or non-resident citizen kasi nga yung American actor is not a Filipino. So, ang pwede lang na maging classification ng American actor ay resident alien, non-resident alien engaged in trade or business, or non-resident alien not engaged in business. Now, to classify the American actor, kailangan nating alamin kung ano ba yung intention niya regarding his nature of his stay within the Philippines. Ang kanyang purpose kung bakit siya nandito sa Philippines is to do a project for a Philippine television company. Pero hindi matagal ang kanyang paggawa ng project. His stay here in the Philippines is for a definite purpose which in its nature will be accomplished immediately. Kaya ang magiging classification natin kay American actor ay NRA-NETB or non-resident alien not engaged in trade or business. And kahit hindi natin alam yung kanyang intention or purpose kung bakit siya nandito sa Philippines, 3 weeks lang siya nandito sa Philippines. And yung 3 weeks na yan is not more than 180 days. That's why i-classify pa rin natin siya as non-resident alien not engaged in trade or business. Example number 2. A Libyan national arrived in the country on November 4, 2019. The Libyan national stayed in the Philippines since then without any working visa or work permit. It says here, without any working visa or work permit. So pupunta tayo dun sa second general classification rule for individuals, which is the length of stay. What is the appropriate classification for the Libyan national for the year 2019? Nandito siya sa Philippines noong November 4, 2019. Nagbibilang tayo until December 31, 2019. Unahin natin yung November. Ilang days meron ang November? 30 days. So hanggang November 30, 2019 yan. So November 30, 2019 minus November 4, 2019. So 30 minus 4, that is 26. So meron siya dito sa Philippines sa November ng 26 days. Ngayon, punta naman tayo sa December. Sa December, merong 31 days from December 1 to December 31. So 31 plus 26 nung November, that is 57. So meron lang tayong 57 days. That means it is not more than 180 days or it is less than 180 days. Now, pag nandito siya sa Philippines for less than 180 days, ang kanyang magiging classification ay non-resident alien not engaged in trade or business. So that means, yung Libyan national na yan, ang kanyang appropriate classification for the year 2019 ay non-resident alien not engaged in trade or business. What if nandito pa yung Libyan national sa taong 2020? That means, nandito siya sa Philippines from November 4, 2019 to December 31, 2020. Ngayon, ang kanyang magiging classification ay hindi na non-resident alien not engaged in trade or business, but rather resident alien na. Kasi nandito siya sa Philippines for more than 1 year. So for the year 2020, ang magiging classification ng Libyan national is a resident alien. Example number 3. Without any definite intention as to the nature of his stay, a Filipino citizen left the Philippines and stayed abroad from March 15, 2019 to April 1, 2020 before returning to the Philippines. It says Filipino citizen, that's why ang ating magiging classification lang yan ay either resident citizen or non-resident citizen. It also says, without any definite intention as to the nature of his stay. That means, pupunta tayo dun sa second general classification rule for individuals, which is the length of stay. Magbibilang tayo from March 15, 2019 to December 31, 2019 para malaman natin yung classification ng Filipino citizen na yan for the year 2019. From March 15, 2019 to December 31, 2019, there are more than 183 days. Take note, para maklasify yung citizen as non-resident citizen, kailangan nandun siya sa ibang bansa for at least 183 days. Ngayon, itong Filipino citizen na to, nandun siya sa ibang bansa for more than 183 days. Kaya ang magiging classification natin for the Filipino citizen is a non-resident citizen for the year 2019. How about his classification for the year 2020? Non-resident citizen pa rin ba or resident citizen? For the year 2020, magbibilang tayo from January 1, 2020 to April 1, 2020. From January 1 to April 1, 2020, there are less than 183 days. Dahil nandun siya sa ibang bansa for less than 183 days, hindi niya na-meet yung more than or hindi niya na-meet yung at least 183 days. That means for the year 2020, ang magiging classification ng Filipino citizen na yan ay resident citizen.